All right, how's it going, people? Sean Talks Wrestling. Let's talk AEW Dynamite and the show. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Flowed well. There was some stuff that I warned you guys about, and now we're seeing it. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So the show started off with the three pillars. What four? I guess because it came out later. But Darby, Jungle, Sammy in the ring, and they went over. Darby started off talking about he saw Perry and he said like he kind of was jealous of him because he was in Los Angeles and he was his had a famous dad. And he got signed to the AEW roster before he did. He was sleeping in his car, but then he got to know him and said that he doesn't really fear him at all. Kind of because the whole thing is Jungle Boy is a nice guy, so he doesn't fear him or anything like that. Then he talked about Sammy, how Sammy's pretty much does anything to win, but he's also a big Jericho penis licker, and that kind of holds him back. Then Jungle Boy got on the mic and says, you know, Darby, people think you're this guy, but you're really antisocial. You're an ass backstage. You don't like people. You do this and you do that. If people really knew who you were, they really wouldn't like you. Uh, and he talked to Sammy. He said that, Sammy, he's a douchebag, but he also puts on incredible matches. But, he's still a scumbag. He's a scumbag that puts on incredible matches. Guevara, he says that Jungle Boy, I forgot what he said about Jungle Boy. I really forgot about what he said, but he said that Darby, him and Darby are the same because they both put their bodies on the line. They jump, one jump high, the other jumps higher. They do both of them do match for match crazy stuff to top of each other. And he said that Darby inspired him to win a championship because when he won the first championship, he said, "Oh man, I'm gonna do that too and break the glass ceiling." And he won it, but instead of like Darby win it one time, well, not Darby's won it twice, the TNT Championship. He won it three times. So out comes MJF, and he says that they're going to have a Pillars tournament. I would have rather had a 4-way, and we still might get a 4-way, but it is what it is. Um, so Darby Allin gets a bye for next week, and the main event was Jungle Jack Perry versus Sammy Guevara. Main event. Fast forward a little bit. Backstage, you have Sammy Guevara, MJF. Sammy Guevara is getting interviewed. MJF comes in and he's like, buddy, whatever. He's like, well, me and you can main event and just get the rest of the guys out of the way. The only problem is I need you to lay down for me in the main event of the pay-per-view. And I'll make it even sweeter. I'll write you a blank check, any number. He writes his thing down on the blank check, Guevara, and MJ looks at it. He's like, "You sure that's your number?" Guevara says, "Yep." They agree. I wonder where they're going with this. I wonder where they're going with Sammy, MJF working together against the other two pillars. So, rewind. First match of the night, if I'm not mistaken, it was. Let me just see right here real quick. Oh yeah, it was the women's match. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker defeated the Outcast Tony Storm and Ruby Soho. Forgive me, Dr. Umar. The Snow Bunnies were tempting me with this right here tonight, but a lot of cake. It was, but the wrestling in this match was top notch. Like Saraya berating Britt Baker's mom during the match, incredible. Saraya talking about her hair during the match, just incredible mic work. Uh, Jamie Hayter and the beginning of the match, just a house of fire. That double suplex on Soho and Tony Storm, amazing. The ending sequence, the backbreaker, into the butterfly suplex between uh, Hater and the Doctor on I think it was Ruby. Excellent. Uh, there was a point in the match where uh, the ref got distracted and Britt Baker got hit with the belt and then a Storm Zero and kicked out. Uh, but the match ended with Britt Baker putting Soho in the I forgot the mandible claw. What is he called? The lockjaw. Put her in the lockjaw. Won the match. 1, 2, 3. I really enjoyed this match. I really enjoyed it. But then again, these are pretty much the best 4 women in the company. So wasn't really surprising that this match was pretty good. Uh, then you have the Elite coming out. Kenny gets on the mic and he's like, "Well, I don't really have anything to say. BBC, we need to sell this." Danielson's on the Titantron. He's like, "You're an amateur. You're coming out here saying you don't have anything to say, but you're talking. That's amateur work." The rest of the BCC. Why am I saying BBC? It's anyway. So they come out. They attack the Elite from behind. They beat them up. The Elite take over for a little bit, but eventually the Blackpool Combat Club take over. They beat up the Young Bucks, have them outside of the ring. The Combat Club, I think that's a better way to say it. The Combat Club, they hold down Kenny. And Danielson comes out and he says, Kenny, you're not an amateur, but you got something locked away or whatever. He pulls out the screwdriver. He says, "I got to clean this place." And right before he's about to stab Kenny with the screwdriver, out comes Don Callis with a chair. Don Callis looks at the scene. He drops the chair, goes back. Danielson gets back on the mic and says, that's the kind of people that Kenny surrounds himself with, cowards or whatever. Don Callis comes back with Takeshita. Takeshita comes out. He's confused. He doesn't know really what's going on. And then Wheeler Yuta comes out of the ring and he's like challenging Takeshita. Takeshita takes no disrespect. No, don't even try it. He comes down to meet Wheeler Yuta, hits him with the forearm. Wheeler Yuta is knocked out. Gets in the ring. Arm flips over Claudio. I think he hit Moxley with another elbow. And then he has a stare down with Danielson. And him and Danielson are locked in. And Danielson's like, "Why would you get involved? Like, I thought we were cool. Why?" Mind blown. Wheeler gets back up. He gets hit with the elbow, Blue Thunder Bomb. They clothesline Moxley out of the ring. And that's how the segment ends. If I had to guess, I think they're gonna go Combat Club versus Kenny, one of the Jackson brothers, because I think Matt is hurt legitimately with his arm. Kenny, Nick, Takeshita, and Cowboy, Hangman Page. I think that's where they're gonna go. They probably had to just throw Takeshita in there because of Matt Jackson being hurt. I think the match is gonna be one hell of a time, especially Blood and Guts. Takeshita and Blood and Guts with the Elite. That sounds like match of the year type candidate. Anyway, moving on past that. Let's see. Oh, so backstage you had Powerhouse Hobbs, and he introduces a new person. Well, not new to us, but new to being with him, I guess. Yeah. So he brings out Arn Anderson, and Arn Anderson is saying, they stole your money and all this. Child's play. What's really important, they took your championship, and you got to get it back. He said something about 4 horsemen. Now, that kind of perked my ears up. Wardlow being in a 4 horseman group. Who who, who, who would you put around Wardlow to be a part of a new Four Horsemen? So I had I'm just throwing stuff out here. Wardlow. I'm wondering if Arn would put his son in there just to boost. Or it would be Wardlow, Brock, Anderson, and I'm trying to think of all the people they have, including AEW and ROH. I think if I had to think, maybe the Workhorsemen. Maybe I think they're a terrific tag team that is just on the cusp of the crest of being great. We've seen Drake do some incredible things. His partner is very talented from what I've seen in his matches. I think that could be an excellent Four Horsemen. Brock Anderson, Wardlow, Wardlow, and the Workhorsemen. I think you have somewhat of a devastating team there. I'll be interested to see who you guys would put with Wardlow. What other three guys would you put with Wardlow to form a new Four Horsemen? I know everybody might say FTR. Um, that's possible too, and they are good, good friends. But we've already seen them in the Pinnacle, and that would just be like a retread. It would be just a complete retread. Could it work? Yeah, but I don't know. I really wouldn't want to see that again because I just wouldn't want to see that again. But it would work. So you get the match between Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs. Excellent match. Big man slapping meat. Point of the match, Hobbs, he's just throwing Wardlow around, hitting him with the clubs in the middle of the ring, just sandwiching him. They're going clothesline for clothesline, slap for slap, chop. It was a thing of beauty. But it got goofy toward the end. You had Harley getting up on the ring trying to entice the referee or Wardlow. I couldn't figure it out. Then QT got in, hit the diamond cutter on Wardlow. Then Hobbs hit the spine buster. Sorry. And then Wardlow kicked out of both of those. QT got in the ring. Arn Anderson got in the ring. Arn Anderson put up a finger gun that scared QT away, where Penta was outside and super kicked QT, and QT got back in the ring. Arn hit him with a DDT. Wardlow hit the powerbomb Symphony, and that was like less than a month. Less than a month. Powerhouse Hobbs had a title reign, and let's rate it trash. Trash title run. No feud besides the one he kind of had with Wardlow over the title. But what was that? Just so. Wardlow's like a 3-time TNT champion already, and the belt's only been around for like what 3? What's the point? Like, I get it. They could have just put Arn Anderson with Wardlow already, like the Samoa Joe stuff. The Samoa Joe stuff with Wardlow getting his hair trimmed off would have been a perfect opportunity to put in with Brock Lesnar. You could have been building toward the Four Horsemen thing, and then later on get Hobbs the belt, and then you could have had, I don't know, Wardlow say, okay, I won the TNT Championship. Now let me just try to fight MJF, and it could have worked. Now you have the man winning a third TNT title reign, and then I know Hobbs is not even going to sniff that belt again for a while because right after Wardlow won, Christian's music hit. So let me get this straight. I, Christian, or maybe Jungle Dinosaurs, whatever, Lunasaurus, they're going to challenge for his TNT title. Are they going to beat him for the title, or is he just like random fodder for Wardlow? I'm kind of throwing my hands up on this one. Like they probably could have waited for the Christian thing till next week. It was just sort of like force fed. Sorry, it's like then you had Jay White defeating Commander. Um, if you are a fan of Jay White, I I don't think this match did anything to like sway you to being a Jay White fan. Um, I think the main point of this segment or match was Sean Spears in the crowd looking at Jay White and doing the numbers thing. Pretty much anything Jay White did, he was rating it low. While everything Commander did, he was rating it high, pissing off both Juice and Jay. Um, the match was okay. Um, Commander, he's not everybody's cup of tea. Um, yeah, at least he didn't do the rope run all the way. Probably Jay White, he was like, all right, bro, no, you're not gonna do that to me. I'm a former IWGP champion, Grand Slam champion. You're not gonna do that like that rope walk stuff. Like save that for somebody else, save that for a pay per view. Um, Jay White ends up winning with the Blade Runner. Was there any doubt that Jay White was gonna win this match? So after the match, Sean Spears puts up a 5. Juice White goes off in his shit and beats him up. Jay White, Juice Robinson, they're attacking Sean Spears in the ring. Out comes Ricky Starks. He ducks under Jay White and hits Juice Robinson with a diving spear. Jay White powders out. Um, Funniest moment of the night, Juice Robinson holding his ribs on the ground, screaming out, Ricky! If you know Juice Robinson's voice, it made it 100 times funnier. If you know that scene from where that movie is from, give yourself a cookie. Yeah, very funny part. Ricky! Moving on past that. I told you guys. Chris Jericho confronting Adam Page face to face. Jericho he's like I don't like you because you're arrogant. And Adam Cole, he's like I respect you. They get into a fight. Out comes Daniel Garcia beating up, and they're both beating him up. Out comes Britt Baker. Okay. She pulls Jericho off, slaps Jericho. The Outcast, Soho, Storm, Saraya come out, beat up Britt Baker. They handcuff Cole to the ring rope. Jericho has a kendo stick, and he's about to hit Adam Cole with it, but instead he hands it to Saraya, and Saraya wails on Britt Baker for a couple. And I kind of understand where they're going with this one. He's handcuffed. He's like, they're beating up my girl. She's like, they're beating up my girl. She's getting hit with kendo stick. I think, no disrespect. I think those kendo sticks. She's gonna be fine. We've seen her in some pretty hardcore, bloody matches. I, I, I don't think it has that same effect on somebody we've already seen go through this stuff and come out on top, be a survivor, become a champion. It's like, oh my God, they're hitting Britt with a kendo stick. is it the same girl that got power drive on thumbtacks or like suplex on a chair? I think Kendall Sticks, I think she's fine with that. And then she's like, Austin, please stop calling him Austin. Please, 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 please. Why isn't it? Why are you calling him Austin? And it's such a disconnect. It's like, okay, Adam Cole, if you're gonna call him Austin, and then like, why? So confused. Why not just be like, oh, in AW, I'm Austin something. I'm Austin something. And WWE has Adam Page. I, I, I told you guys the Jericho stuff was gonna be trash. They, they rate this a A? Trash. Um, the Acclaimed versus the JAS. The rap was good. The match, it was a three-way. The stipulation was if the JAS defeated the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, they would have to join the JAS until the pay-per-view. Uh, the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass won. That's all I can say about this match. Um, at one point, the Acclaimed had the crowd in the palm of their hand. They still do. Not getting it twisted. But they really had people by the balls when they had the championships. They don't have the championships, and I'm not gonna say the tag team division is boring, but it is not really. Is this feud done? Probably not. Probably like the match ended so goofy too. Like so, Cool Hand, he has a comb or whatever. He hits Bowens with the comb. Referee turns around, counts 1, 2. Bowens kicks out. He tries to hit the person with the comb again. I think Bowens ducked. He hit Hager with the loaded comb. Daddy Ass breaks the comb, and Cool Hand, he's going crazy, gets elbowed or whatever, and then he gets a claim to fame, the elbow drop. It just real goofy behavior, just real goofy for no reason. Then you had Jack Perry, Jungle Boy versus Sammy Guevara main event. Solid match for what it was. Especially like toward the end. That sliding elbow to the back of the head that Jungle Boy does, crisp, very crisp. The way this match ended, weird. So, Sammy and Jungle Boy are fighting on the top of the rope. Jungle Boy is on the outside of the turnbuckle at the top. So Guevara gets knocked down or steps down, takes a couple steps back, and he drop kicks Jungle Boy off of the top of the turnbuckle at an angle to the outside. And I think Jungle Boy was supposed to land through the table, but instead he caught the corner and some barricade for his trouble, and it looked like it hurt like hell. So the referee's counting 10 count. Jungle Boy has 10 seconds to get back in the ring. And right before it gets to 8, Guevara discretion referee. Cue MJF with the Dynamite ring. So MJF comes out, clocks Jungle Boy with the Diamond ring. Guevara wins via countout. The plan is in motion with Guevara and Sammy. Who's gonna cut who? Who's gonna backstab who? We don't know, but I think next week is gonna be Darby versus Sammy. Winner faces MJF at All In. I'm thinking it'll probably be Darby. If I had to guess, Darby, or they might just say, well, all four of you guys. They, they might find an excuse for that, but we'll just have to see. Um, and you guys tell me what you thought about this AEW Dynamite. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Best match of the night. If I had to guess a best match of the night, if I had to say which match was the best, uh, I would say the women's tag match in the beginning. That was probably my favorite match. All the rest of them were cool. It would go women's tag match, and then the Guevara versus Sammy. Uh, as far as just wrestling. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace out.